Howdy, y'all. Dr. Howdy, y'all. Professor Parks, PhD here. And I am making this video because I am wrong. Recently, I posted a video. I did a live stream yesterday critiquing Mr. Shack's geoaxial binary solar system, effectively the Tychos model. And I showed a spreadsheet where I showed the discrepancies between the positions of Stellarium and the positions of his model. It was pointed out to me in my comment section by Juan Argento 3978 that I did not properly account for the negative sign for the declinations in the Stellarium data, which that is something I am likely to do. Plus and minus signs have been a bane of my existence since I was an undergraduate, and so I did make that change. And I would like to show you, if I can, I'd like you to show you the new results. Let's see. I don't know if you can see them very well, but what you're looking at is that the mean distance in degrees, and particularly the error as indicated by the standard deviation, the error is far smaller in terms of its standard deviation, but the mean difference is still, while it is lower, it is certainly lower than what I had shown before. It is still off in a number of cases. Again, the data that these columns that I am very poorly showing you here are the average of the discrepancies in the 6 dates that I looked at. You can see that on average, the positions of a number of the objects are off by degrees. We're not talking arc minutes, we're talking degrees. And so I think my point is still valid in that the Tychos model is not an accurate representation of what the solar system looks like. It is not a useful tool for anyone to use in order to determine the specific accurate positions of things in reality. Now, as I have been criticized, and again, I want to be as honest as possible, I want to read you something that Mr. Shack sent me. He stated, and this is about the moon. Yes, there's a full 5 degrees discrepancy in DEC, yet only 6 minutes in RA. That's probably not actually accurate anymore because of my fuck up. But in the email I wrote you yesterday, I explained just why the moon's orbit, for technical/coding reasons, is not tilted in the Tychosium by 5.14 degrees, as it should be. The problem should be fixed in the upcoming update of the Tychosium, as I also stated in my email to you. Yet, the moon's RA, i.e. longitudinal position, in the Tychosium are already in excellent agreement with virtually all recorded solar and lunar eclipses over the centuries, all the way back to ancient times. I'm going to push back on that, and I'm going to try to do that as respectfully as I can. I would like to know what your definition of excellent agreement is, because I have not looked at eclipses, but I am referring to the other planets. And let's see, I really wish I could figure out a way to flip this, but I would not qualify a difference in degrees as excellent agreement. Now, you make the claim, Mr. Shack, that the longitudinal positions of Tychosium are virtually are in excellent agreement with virtually all recorded solar system and lunar eclipses. I will look into that. I will select 6 eclipses over the past however many years, lunar eclipses in the past however many years, including the partial eclipse that is coming up on September 11th, I think. It's a partial solar eclipse where at maximum only, I think it is 0.8% of the moon will still be visible. It could be I think it is 0.8%. So while it is technically partial, it is going to be pretty close to full. So it should be good times. Anyway, I will look into that. I will look into the stellarium results for eclipses specifically looking at right ascension, because again, you claim that because of the issue with coding 5.14 degrees into the model is problematic. It is unfair for me to make that comparison until that can be properly incorporated. But I will look at the longitudinal position of the moon for those eclipses and see if they are in agreement. Now again, I would not consider degrees as excellent agreement. I would even go so far as to say that in this age of high resolution, high precision astronomy, an arc minute is also not excellent agreement. Now, if your agreement is within an arc second, then we really do have something that to talk about in terms of perfecting this model and getting it out there. But until I can see arc second, and I'll give it to this way so that I have a red line in the sand, is if you can predict the positions of planets and the planets and hopefully the moon later to an accuracy of plus or minus 30 arc seconds, then I will help you get this model perfected. I will seriously explore the idea that Kepler's laws are in fact inaccurate. But again, it has to be in accordance, in an agreement of plus or minus 30 arc seconds. Anything else, again, particularly in this age of precision astronomy, of precision pointing of telescopes and so forth, I cannot, in good faith, agree to anything less than or anything more than that. So, again, I fucked up. I made an error in my spreadsheet. It was not a conscious one. I fully admit that this was a careless error on my part, that I should have been more rigorous and more careful with my analyses. I am impressed by how well these do agree. I would not call them excellent agreement. I would call them good, but they certainly aren't. It certainly does not indicate to me that Tychos is an effective tool to show reality. Because again, an accuracy of a degree in certain cases just doesn't cut it. Particularly when your field of view, such as the one that I use, is 25 by 25 arc minutes. If I were to use your model, more often than not, I think that I would not be pointing in the right direction. I would not see the object in question based on your model. And in fact, I can try that. I can actually test that. I can, using the Sky program, I can look at Saturn or Jupiter. I can't promise when this will happen, but I can look at Jupiter, or Mars and Saturn are coming up, are pretty early objects. I can look at them. I can manually input values into the Sky program and point my telescope in that direction. So I would not be using on the Sky's database. I would be using the Stellarium database or the Stellarium results and the Tychosium results. And we'll see what happens. Now, again, I will repeat this if I were to do when I do this, that our pointing is not precise, is not nearly as good as I want it to be. It tells me that my accuracy is within 2 arc minutes. I'm thinking it's more like 5. So there is that to contend with, but we can check it out. So But again, I want to be very clear. I apologize for any misrepresentation that I made with your data. I have, when it was pointed out to me that I was in error, I immediately went into the data. I immediately found that error and corrected it. And I have now shown what that new error or what that new data is. Now, if there is an additional error, which there could be, please let me know. If I cock this whole thing up, I'm already slightly embarrassed by this, but if I cock this whole thing up, I will be tremendously embarrassed, but I will be honest in how I present, in fully admitting that I was wrong. And so yeah, at this point, I will end it, and I will put this on YouTube immediately. So peace out and clear skies.